Okay, welcome everyone to the VWBPE 2025 transitions. I am Skipper Abel. In this session I will be presenting on a virtual world project that ran in OpenSim. For some of the slides you may need to in fact zoom in. We have over 20 slides to show, and I will pause briefly between each should anyone have a question, and of course there will be time for a Q&A at the end. The case study presentation sets out to both describe and evaluate the student learning experience within a situated virtual working space using interactive real-time renewable energy simulations. The student cohort for this project are a small second year level 5 group comprising 6 post-19 adult male students studying a foundation degree in software development. Following completion of the virtual world learning, students would produce a desktop application written using the Java programming language that would produce a working solar home simulation. Landing in world, a numbered set of information boards have been created and placed as an effective means to facilitate a clear set of sequenced instructions. Noteboard 1 welcomes the participants to the project in World with a general description of the tasks and goes on to list the renewable resources that have been made available. Noteboard 2 includes an image of electric kettles, left showing text in red indicating that the appliance is in an off state and so not consuming power, while the kettle on the right, following a touch event, has green text with power consumption. Noteboard 3 shows the operation of the reporting panel. As you can see from the image, touching on the panel will set the state from reporting on or off. On Noteboard 4, it describes how participants can access and submit assessments in World. Each residence will have a picture frame featuring one of the renewable resources as a learning tool. The solar homes, these are images of each of the residents used in the original project and reveal the variation in renewable energy resources made available to the students. The size and so generating capacity of renewables for each residence varies, and only one residence actually has a water turbine. The picture frame interactive tools, each of the solar homes has located somewhere on the wall of the residence a picture frame, the interactive learning resource featuring one of the renewable energy sources. You'll see this working later. The power monitor shows energy being consumed by appliances in each of the residents and supplied by renewables, and there is a final balance of power remaining. The resources, the table lists all those items that have a scripted touch event. By touching on any of the items, the resource is switched either on or off. Each event as it takes place will be recorded to an external MySQL database with details of avatar name, resource name, and date and time. exploring the residence, student avatars, exploring the solar home kitchen. It's just a learning space. In the background, a kitchen appliance, the oven, has a red label indicating that it is currently in a switched off state, whereas the green label indicates that the kettle is switched on with energy in watts being consumed shown in green text. The picture frame activity. Touching on the picture of a solar collector dispenses a note card with working description and question in green text. An important consideration for assessment was to ensure that student receives a unique question made possible through scripting to generate sets of pseudo-random values embedded in the text dialogue. Assessments using values generated in the text chat and note card formula. Students type their answer into the note card along with their ID, then save and drag to the postbox for submission. Each student was required to produce 2 individual note card solutions per residence, giving an overall mark of 10% toward their final Java grading. The total resource touch counts per student, the touch event logged for each individual student throughout the period of the project. The touch range varied between 105 to 54 with a mean average of 81. Qualitative analysis. Students completed an online Moodle virtual learning environment questionnaire using a 5-point Likert scale shown here. You can see it was fairly standard in its form, with disagree completely, disagree partially, neither agree nor disagree, which was basically neutral, and agree partially and agree completely. The 19 feedback questions are informed and adapted from a subset of those created by Tanya Julston at Learning Technology Center, Department of Communication, University of Wisconsin in Milwaukee. I don't actually have the link to that. I'm afraid I lost that some time ago. Learning induction have been introduced to provide the group with opportunities to convey to us their views on how well the induction prepared them for the virtual world exercises. Before commencing the project, Q11 shows that 83% felt they understood all components of the virtual world activities. The feedback for Q12, with 83% indicating a good positive sense of preparedness overall for the objectives, is encouraging, though one student, 17%, indicated feeling neutral regarding the proposal. Question 14 reveals full and partial agreement. They had support prior to the virtual world activities. These included activities such as orientation and a simulation and submission walkthrough. Question 15 reveals 100% partial and full agreement that they had adequate support in completing virtual world activities. Overall, very encouraging. For learning in the virtual world, the influence that participants feel the virtual world impacted upon learning is presented here, acquired from the questions 7, 8, 9, and you can see 13. Learning in the virtual world, Q7 shows a significant 67% partially felt that the experience helped them to think more deeply about the exercise, while 33% remain neutral. For Q8, feedback produces 66% partial and full agreement, suggesting that the virtual world learning space facilitated improved conceptualization, which I thought was good. The combined agreement here of 83% found in questions 9 and 13 strongly indicates support the proposal of engagement, and with 83% agreeing that the virtual world was beneficial to learning. These two questions would seem very much to complement those findings. The communication and collaboration. The following questions have been grouped in order to gather from the participants their perception of the way in which the virtual world experience was able to facilitate a sense of social learning and working. Note particular here that both questions 16 and 19 pose an inverse style of phrasing the questions, and taking this into consideration, there is a clear majority, partial and complete agreement surrounding the propositions, a very encouraging outcome really. Yes, I agree. Question 19 was. Thank you for the comment. For question 17 in particular, all students have positively indicated that collaboration was useful in completing assignment work. I would add here that there was no actual traditional style teaching taking place during this project. The students learnt completely from their virtual world experiences. The future options for virtual worlds. Having experienced a virtual world as a learning and assessment platform, how would the group feel about future options as a means of course delivery? Yeah, Di, I agree. It is very encouraging. Thank you. An overall positive response of 67% to Q1 strongly suggests that the group would not avoid classes where the technology was used, and Q6 shows 83% are in some agreement prepared to take a course where virtual worlds are used. So it seems to have made a good impression. Final chart impressions. The feedback for the group of questions does not reveal variance. Sorry, I should say the group of questions does not reveal a variance of feeling across that could be interpreted in the case of questions 2, 3, 4, 5 or 10 as closely related in nature. I do appreciate that. But Q2, 67 partially agree that the experience was absorbing. The remaining members of the group were split between being either neutral or in partial disagreement. Q3 reveals that 1/3 of the students are neutral to the proposition that the experience was enriching, while the majority had some agreement that it was. In response to Q4, that the virtual world held attention, none of the respondents was in full agreement with this, though 67% agreed partially. Q5 proposal that imagination was opened up through using the virtual world. Learning space reveals a 50-50 split really between any agreement, neutrality and partial disagreement. So not so strong for imagination. Q10, here 66% of participants agree partially or fully that the activities were in fact challenging, while 33% were either neutral or partially disagreed. So most felt it was a challenging exercise. I was pleased about that. In conclusion, while it is acknowledged that given the small cohort size for this project, results may not be considered truly representative statistically. The exercise was able to demonstrate that effective learning, collaboration and enrichment would nonetheless seem to have been proven to some reliable degree, and I do remain encouraged in the use of the very adaptive and versatile technologies. For the end slide here, there are some links for you. The carbon free, which is a live Second Life site which I run, there's a link there. You can actually go to the teleport and you can try out one of the residents if you like. Just go and play with that by all means. Oh, yes, the size of the group was 6. It's a very small group. So do please feel to come along and try out, see what you think about it interactively. There's a case study research paper for this, which you can have a look at if you wish. There's a link there in ResearchGate. And there's the living carbon-free platform there. You can go to and have a look at that. If you go to the site there, the Star Beach Island, you'll see that all our projects are listed in the main building. There's about 14 of them with all the student feedback for each project. So if you're interested in seeing and gauging student views, you may like to teleport over sometime. Thank you very much, everyone. That's been great. If nobody has any questions, then please feel free to teleport off to your next. Not sure what you meant, Kalashandra. Can you possibly expand on that, please?